Good morning, everyone. And I know it's been a while that the team has not posted any video lesson because of my unavailability. And I want to explain on that matter because in July I got COVID. And although I was asymptomatic, but I had to take a rest because I did not want to risk anything. And after that, I had to fly abroad for almost 2 months, and I got vaccinated there. And I had to, I had to deal with some side effects, and even until now, I'm suffering from the side effects of the vaccine. And in fact, to specify about it, I have some food allergies, so that's why I apologize for the delay. Now, for today's lesson it's about the basics of tort law in the Philippines. And I know that you can hear some hissing or like a background noise for this video because my Mac really has a problem with in using this application in the video recording. So I hope that my voice is even clearer than the sound. And again, I apologize for that. Now, the basics of tort law in the Philippines, or this lesson would be divided into two or three parts. Let's see later. And for today's topic, we will just do the a basic an introduction about the lesson. Now, you have to take note that tort law is like an American concept because it's not even mentioned in our new civil code, and you have to remember that to be strict about it. What we have in our laws is quasi-delict, culpa aquiliana, or extra-contractual culpa. That's the term for tort. And it can be found in Chapter 2, Title 17 of the New Civil Code. And you have to take note, especially first year students, that tort or quasi-delict or culpa aquiliana is one of the five sources of obligations. And I know my introduction to law students know very well the five sources of obligations. Now, specifically, Article 2176 of the New Civil Code, it states about quasi-delict. It says, whoever, if I may read for those who are just listening on this video, whoever by act or omission causes damage to another, there being fault or negligence, is obliged to pay for the damage done. Such fault or negligence, if there is no pre-existing contractual relation between the parties, is called a quasi-delict and is governed by the provisions of this chapter. Okay, this is the full provision as found in our new civil code. Now, with this provision stated in Article 2176 of the new civil code, what does it mean? It means that it states the elements of quasi-delicts. 1. An act or omission by one complained of, meaning there is a conduct. It could be an action or an omission, or omission is a failure to do what they're supposed or what a person is supposed to do. Another element is a fault or negligence by the one complained of, meaning the respondent or the defendant. Now, there should be fault or negligence, meaning it negates the existence of intent. So, it was just like there was lack of foresight. Now, out of that act or omission, which is prompted by fault or caused by fault or negligence, there should be damage or injury. Damage is injury is always an element when there's a civil case because you have to establish that you are an injured party, and that's why you're taking this action. And this is one of the important elements, although all these four are important, because they compose the elements of quasi-delicts. The absence of a pre-existing contractual relations. Because if there's a contractual relation, that the relation is out of the contract or an agreement made prior to the fault or the act or omission that was caused by fault or negligence that caused damage, we have to go back to the provisions of the contract. So again, it's an important element that there should be no pre-existing contractual relations. But our jurisprudence would elaborate on this because there are cases decided by the Supreme Court in which there is a contractual relation, but the party complained of was still held liable because there was fault or negligence being done. Now, what is negligence? It's been repeated, fault or negligence. It is the failure to observe the degree of diligence required by law. So you have to remember that there's a failure and there is a requirement under the law. So these are two elements of negligence. One example we can cite of would be the diligence required for common career. And it's identified that it should be extraordinary diligence. And you have to know that the function or the role of a common career, or the obligation to be specific, is to what? Transport a person from one point to another. And it's offered to the public. So, a common career must be cautious because if the law does not require an extraordinary diligence, then everyone will be reckless. So, you have to take note that the law requires that degree of diligence for a specific situation. And this one, for a common career, again, is extraordinary diligence. But if the law is silent, the law says that the default standard would be diligence of a good father of a family. And I know it's always a question in law school. Why is it not diligence of a good mother of a family? Let's keep that question hanging because next meeting or next lesson will be elaborating on that matter. Okay? So what's the rule in case there's negligence? So of course, if the one complained of is the sole reason why there was fault or injury based on his sole negligence, so of course he will be liable. But it's possible in situations, in several cases decided by the Supreme Court, that mitigation of damages being asked or to be given by the complaining party will be mitigated or tempered because the one complaining contributes to the damage or injury. So that's what we call as contributory negligence. Now, what if the fault or negligence of the person complaining is the immediate and proximate cause of the damage, meaning the sole reason, and the one being complained of has no participation? What's the rule? According to the Supreme Court, recovery of damages is not allowed. Okay? I hope in this very quick lesson you were able to grasp the basics of tort law or quasi-delict according to our civil code. Now for next meeting, we will be dealing with defenses on quasi-delicts cases and on special torts because we will tackle the specific provisions of the new civil code which deals with the negligence of those or the liability of those persons who have specific liabilities or responsibilities according to our law. So again, I thank you. I have to repeat this and sorry for being repetitive. I thank those people who liked our Facebook page and also our subscribers in our YouTube account. And I thank my students, my Intro to Law students of the University of Cebu. They've been listening to those to the video lessons, and they tell me during our classes that, oh, attorney, I listened to your video lesson on this topic, etc. Thank you so much, and good luck for your midterms next week. and also our website. Actually, I've been busy dealing with the editing of all the articles because all our video lessons reduce into writing. And again, I thank you. Thank you very much. And please look forward to the quiz and also our next lesson next week. And also, I will be doing my best to do the bar guide because I know the bar exams was reset. So thank you so much again, and you take care because COVID is real and COVID is still around. Thank you. Thank you.